We just had a very strange noise offset. It's very lucky Owen wasn't in the middle of telling us something very important. I'll explain why in just a moment. But he's here, first of all, to about the markets. A little bit cold on the European Central Bank's credit feast.
We could do with a little bit more noise, quite frankly, on the markets, Stuart. Always have to be careful at this time of year, reading too much into the markets. We've got low volumes, a lot of traders heading away for the Christmas break, and yet you would expect just a little bit more bang for your buck. I'm talking about the ECB unleashing €500 billion into the European banking system. The markets, as you can see in Europe, have opened up between 0.5% and around 0.8%. Some of the French banks as well doing quite reasonably. The Asian markets, again, a mixed bag, pretty flat this Thursday, although, as you can see there, the Shanghai Composite did manage to hang on to some gains even. The Nikkei closing around 0.8% down. The Hang Seng just a little bit behind, around 0.3% off.
We just had another clatter. Did you hear that? I'll explain why in just a moment. You will understand a little bit later on. First of all, though, a bit more company news, starting with an announcement from Lufthansa that it's to sell loss-making subsidiary BMI to the parent of British Airways and Iberia, the company, the German firm, rather. Says the deal for the British budget airline was priced at £172 million, but the net price is expected to be significantly less after the two sides negotiate reductions. The sale to IAG, which runs BA and Iberia, expected to be approved in the first quarter of next year.
Bank of America is to pay $335 million to settle claims it discriminated against ethnic minority borrowers. BOA was accused of charging 200,000 African-American and Hispanic clients higher rates than white customers. It also allegedly pushed a higher proportion of them into expensive subprime loans. The firm had denied the allegations, which related to the countrywide mortgage company it acquired in 2008.
And Yahoo's board will meet later this Thursday to discuss a plan for offloading its Asian investments. It's understood the internet search engine will value its Asian assets of $17 billion, almost as much as the entire company. Portfolio includes a 40% stake in Alibaba, the Chinese online trader that's believed to be lining up a Yahoo takeover bid.
Yeah, both Yahoo shares and Alibaba shares trading up, as you might expect, in the wake of that news. Well, next, hard times for Christmas retailers. Against expectations, many US shoppers gave stores a record Thanksgiving weekend in the United States last month. But it's difficult right now to find any European counterparts forecasting that kind of boom. With many Eurozone economies on the brink of recession, many retailers are now expecting a Christmas with zero growth. Nicholas Rushworth has the details.
Christmas approaches, but in Athens it is a bleak midwinter. The festive spirit appears to have slumped, just like the economy.
People don't really want to buy anything. Shopping seems forced. The shopper's psychology is such that they don't even hide their bad mood. People don't even smile. There's no such thing as retail therapy anymore.
That shopkeeper says her sales of Christmas ornaments have fallen 30% this year, even though she's selling at last year's prices. The economic outlook is bleak too in Spain. One indicator resisting the trend is the Christmas lottery, one of the people hoping for a windfall from on high, none other than Jesus.
When people run out of money, they try their luck at the lottery. I think in times of crisis, we buy more tickets.
Consumer spending has fallen sharply in Spain since the downturn in 2008. It's forecast households will spend €114 less on Christmas than they did last year. Meanwhile, in London, shops are braced for a chill winter wind on the business front. This Christmas is expected to be the first holiday with no growth since 2008. Some shops have been discounting early to get those shoppers in.
What do you think? Do you like it? We've got some co-presenters here on set joining us because the question is, have you finished your Christmas shopping? Because in most parts of the world, you've only got 3 days left to find that special gift. And if you have little ones to buy for, you're stuck. You come to the right place. Santa Owen is here to tell us about all these little friends.
The hottest gifts for 2011. Now, Stuart, we are in austere times, as we saw in that last report. Retailers facing difficult times. So it's gifts like these that can make or break many of these retailers. This year, as perhaps you might expect with economies on the brink of recession, a lot of retailers are going back to basics. One of the big things right now are toys where you can basically do it yourself. Making your own toys effectively is making a big comeback for this year. Now, this is a badge maker. I used to have one of these a long time ago now. This is effectively, as I say, a badge maker. Now, we didn't have time to actually prepare one of these on air for you, so I made one a little earlier, or I should say our producer made one for Stuart a little bit earlier. Can we get a close-up on that?
You got one for me?
I've got one for you. This has got the Union flag on it, seeing as Stuart's a Brit. There you go.
Yeah, I'm a Brit.
There are lots of other things, products like sewing machines, for example, for kids, making a big comeback. As I say, a lot of it now is about making your own stuff. Meccano, Lego, of course, all big things where it's... the emphasis is on making things, and these are no exceptions. Looking very festive there. As you'd expect, though, a lot of the other big hitters remain big hitters. Buzz Lightyear still going to infinity and beyond. Of course, we had the Toy Story 3 movie out this year. Sure. Always a big seller. One of the biggest sellers for most retailers. Dora the Explorer, as you might expect. Lots of cartoon characters. In fact, let's just give her a little bit of a wind-up. You can see here.
Oh, my goodness. What does she do?
There she goes. You like that?
Fantastic stuff.
We get a French translation for Dora there. She says she's delighted to be here, I can tell you. The other big one this year as well, and this is one that's not been around that long, the Burger Blaster. Now, hopefully we can get a bit of a close-up on this. And the idea...
You were showing me this just before we came on.
Is to build a burger.
Okay.
Let me just demonstrate. I had a good score on this a little earlier on. That's it. We've got the close-up there. If I can just demonstrate. The idea is to flip a burger onto the plate and build your own. Now,
oh, look at that!
There you go.
How did you do that? I was just going to say one in the eye. You just poked me eye.
I have been practicing a little bit. I must confess.
Ready? Oh, that's it.
We're on fire here. Let's try one more.
Okay. Have I got this one the right way? Oh, useless.
You get the idea. The Burger Blaster, a relatively new addition to the whole Christmas fold, but not surprisingly, or surprisingly, some of the big sellers right now remain the Zuzu Pet. Now, these have been around for a few years. They're pretty small. They're very, very basic, but they sell in their bucket loads. Quite why? Well, I'm not sure, but then I am in my mid-30s. If I can demonstrate, and I hope our gallery can follow this, they've done very well so far. Well done, guys. There they go.
Is it going to move?
The idea with these is you have to give them a little bit of a pat. You have to. There we go. They should move around. There we go.
He's crawling all over the place here.
These remain in the top 10 for many toy retailers, and I dare say will continue to. Baffles me why they remain such big sellers.
You look ridiculous. Do you know that?
You look ridiculous.
Not me.
There we go. So if you are looking for inspiration, we hope you've come to the right place.
Fantastic stuff. Owen, Santa of France 24, giving us the lowdown on Christmas toy. I'll have the Buzz Lightyear. You can take the Dora, OK?
Sounds good.
Fantastic stuff. All right, Owen, thank you very much. That's the latest hardline financial news on France 24. A lot more coming up with Claire really shortly. Stay with us if you can. Have another go.